Home Decor Icks Part 2. Some of you loved the last one, some of you hated the last one, but we're back with strong opinions.
Don't take us too seriously. We're just having fun and bantering, and honestly, a lot of people found our last one helpful, so here we go.
My first ick is overly DIY'd spaces, and I kind of touched on this in our last video, but I recently saw a girl here on TikTok, and I mean no hate at all.
Yes, you do.
She literally made an entire wall of fake brick, and I think based on the comments I saw, a lot of people were in agreement with me that it just like was not it. I appreciate putting effort into a space, trying to like really get creative, doing a DIY, experimenting, like whatever. But good artwork or choosing a really beautiful color for your space can get across the
brick
same
red
idea. Like
a brick red bathroom would be gorgeous, or like
it'd be so good.
Assuming she owned this place, considering she was putting like plaster squares on her wall. But like we mentioned in our last one, if you want to go and watch that, if it's not in your space, maybe it wasn't meant to be. If you don't have this natural brick wall, that's a huge bummer. I kind of wish I was 6'5" with long brown curly hair, but that's not my life.
Oh God, moving along.
I am not the biggest fan of the frame TVs. Granted, I think they're like a beautiful TV. I like how like flat they are against the wall. I'm specifically saying when people are like DIYing or putting these like huge ornate frames on them, and then go to YouTube and put a Van Gogh on there, like we know it's a TV.
It's kind of like the concept of like the more you do to cover something up, like if you have a hickey and you try to put makeup all over it, it like only draws more attention to it. Like
when you scratch your car and like try to spray paint it, like I've done that. I've scratched my car and used a Sharpie to try to do it, and I was like, okay, I should have just had the scratch.
Yeah. Okay, this is one that makes me so deeply uncomfortable when I walk into a room and see this, but it is when people corner their furniture in bedrooms or living rooms or any space. Like when I walk into your bedroom and there's just like a giant gap that's like 3 feet wide behind your bed, like what is hiding behind your bed? There's something about it that just doesn't sit well with me from a design perspective. I don't even know the feng shui behind that, but I just know it's bad. Patty cornering stuff never feels intentional, and like it just kind of feels like you didn't know how to like lay out the room
or measure your
like,
room.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you have like a beautiful accent chair, you can push that in a corner.
Yeah, that's different. As long as you can like have access to seeing kind of like what else is happening beyond that piece of furniture.
Yeah.
But I think beds and sofas, it kind of like
blocks
out, and it just feels,
or dresser.
Yeah, no, hate that.
I agree.
Hate it so much.
I agree. Okay, this one I think might get people upset because I encourage people to be playful with their spaces, but I think just a statement wall, especially when it goes from this like beautiful dark rich color straight to a white wall, I think if you can afford to do it everywhere, wallpaper everything, but that like funky floral wallpaper right to a white wall transition, I don't think it looks great. And another alternative is, I know you did this in your bedroom, is paint your ceiling or wallpaper your ceiling, because at least that spans across the whole space versus just like one beautiful wall and the rest of your room looks unfinished.
And it's one thing to have like a vignette, like to make a moment out of a certain area, but for what you're saying, totally makes sense because it's not like a little vignette. Normally it's like a big
wall.
Yeah.
Just like try to do it throughout.
Okay guys, that is it for this video, but go to Robert's page to hear more of our icks.